Hi, I'm Des and I'm part of an indie development team called Meridian Interactive. Now I want to start by highlighting that I don't have a professional recording outfit here, so bear with me, it's going to be pretty rough. My PC's also pretty old, so where I've got game footage you can expect to see some performance issues here and there. Now the team have decided to put this video together mainly to showcase some very early work we've been doing on an indie title based on an old board game. But before we get into the video, I just want to highlight a couple of points up front. Firstly, you'll notice a lot of store-bought assets with so far only a few custom models thrown in. It'll be really obvious from the beginning that the main assets we're using are a combination of Cinti packs and atavism. There's several other recognisable packs included in the project that are of low poly or stylised style. The goal is to customise or replace some of the models eventually, but as it's early days, we're going to stick with the store-bought assets for the time being. Secondly, as a team all have full-time jobs and are treating this project as a hobby, we've chosen the store-bought path to help us progress faster than we normally would be able to. Securing people's time to dedicate to the project outside of their normal working day is understandably very difficult, so in order to keep the game moving forward in some capacity, we've decided to use store assets to help team members continue to contribute where possible. And finally, as I've already pointed out, the game is in very early development. We still need to work on optimisation and world building, and we're focusing on game mechanics using just one of the race class combinations available in the game. The intention is to get core class combat mechanics working for that class, and then build in the remaining races and classes once we're confident we've got something that's playable. This also means that we've still got a lot of work to do around customising atavism and adding in customised and new models. As for world building, we're still building out the overall starting island with core terrain and vegetation layout and key points of interest within the different zones of the island. Once that's done, we'll add in more detailed points of interest in line with the game and zone storylines. So as you'll see, we've still got a lot of work to do, but we wanted to showcase some early content. We're very stoked with the progress we've made, given the fact that we're working through this on a part-time basis. Now with all that out of the way, I'd like to step into the game. The main focus of this video is to show the skills and ability mechanics, as well as some of the world building we've been working on as part of the game. Out of the box, atavism obviously has the inbuilt capability to allow users to build these mechanics into it. However, what we've done is build some customization into the engine to allow us to achieve some of the goals we had documented as part of the design process. Outside of that, you'll notice standard atavism windows and functionalities as I step through the game. The intention is to both change the look and feel of the windows as we progress, as well as add more customization to the game to ensure we get the game working in line with our design goals, as well as maintain some of that original board game feel. So just at the login screen here, we've built out a scene using Cinti, as well as visually modifying the atavism UI. No huge changes here outside of UI skins and the scene. You may also notice we have no game logo or design at this stage. We've got a working title for the game, however we are still undecided on whether we will run with what we've chosen. You'll see the registration screen is utilising the standard atavism functionality in Canvas, with updated skins and a little rearranging of the buttons and the forms. Now back to the main screen and we'll log in. You'll also notice here we've got some basic custom artwork as we log in. We've still got some work to do though with the scene transitions and customising them for each scene. Here we are at the character selection screen. The background scene is built using Cinti assets, and the UI visuals have been changed to align to the game theme we're looking to try and achieve. The first thing you might notice is that we've got two playable servers. As we're an online team with members based all around the world, we've created the two servers to help different members test different aspects of the game without the impact of lag. As I'm based in Australia, I have created my characters on the Australia server. The Create Character screen brings up a different UI. We've customised this slightly to allow different race class combinations. And we've done this by building in some additional data to be brought across from custom tables on the server. Although basic, the character customisation aligns with the built-in atavism Cinti functionality and ultimately fits with the game feel we're aiming for. As we start building out more race and class combinations, the customisation options will change. But ultimately we don't anticipate wholesale changes at this point in time. We plan to build custom character models in line with the Cinti style so that we can align with the different races available in the game. Now I won't create a new character at this stage, and I'll cancel and return to the selection screen. Okay, I'll log into the game using an existing character. I'm going to use Desi as he's already level 2 and allows me to better showcase some of the work we've done so far. We plan to equip each new character with a unique starting set of gear, and you're assigned that gear once you create your character. This is the current Barbarian starting set. So we've logged into the game at the new character starting point in the docks. Just a quick run around this area, you'll notice it's heavy on Sinti, but we've also tried to add in other assets that help make the place feel alive. You may be able to see fish in the water, birds flying around. We've dropped some NPCs into the scene specifically for this video as well. You may not notice it immediately, however we do have a working day-night cycle and weather. The day-night cycle is server managed, so the time change is persistent. That is, even when you log out, time will continue to pass in the game world. That's part of the Enviro asset we're using, and it's tied in with the Atavism engine. We do have future plans for this by incorporating time-based and seasonal mobs, as well as having gathering professions impacted by the time of year. We've also spent some time changing out parts of the standard Atavism UI. We've updated the menu toolbar and action slots down below. Not all the windows linked to these have been updated, but we're working our way through them slowly. UI is one of those items the team members put off as long as possible, partially because it's not the most fun part of Unity to work with, but also because given we're working through mechanics and changes to the way the engine works, the UI will change as a result, so it's better to leave that until everything is finalised so as to avoid making many changes along the way. As part of the menu changes, you'll notice we start with an auto attack ability which is Punch. This is shown to the left of the main ability bar below. I'll go into more detail once we make our way to the trainer, however this can be turned on or off. When on, auto attack will slot into the attack rotation if there is no other attack actioned. When off, auto attack will not happen at all. Okay, so we'll make our way up to the main town and the trainer now. As you can see, there's no mobs or quests set up yet. We've drawn up some regional and world maps and plan to incorporate them into the game. We've also got a number of overview stories written for each area, and both the maps and the stories will help us build localised stories and quests into the game. So we finally make our way to the main town and we go up to the class trainer. Opening the window presents us with a couple of options. In the top section of the trainer window we have the parent combat skills the Barbarian can train in. In this case it's one-handed weapons and two-handed weapons. As you can see, I've already trained in the one-handed weapon skill. It's already been flagged as skilled. I have not trained in the two-handed as yet. If I click on the one-handed weapons parent skill, it'll bring up the child skills. These are the one-handed weapons that particular class can become proficient in. In this case, I've already trained in the one-handed sword, indicated by the known status. The parent skills that you have trained in will dictate what sort of child skills and abilities you can train in, and the child skills will indicate which specific weapons can be equipped. So going by this, I've trained in the one-handed skill and I can equip one-handed swords. There is nothing at this stage preventing you from training in all combat parent and child skills. However, you are limited by the amount of points you can spend on abilities, as we'll see soon, so there are decisions to be made on what sort of combat style you wish to play. Now if I open my player skills window, it will show all of the parent and child skills I have trained in, as well as the abilities I've learnt for each of the parent skills. Looking at the window of the parent skill books listed down the left side. Working from the bottom up, we first have the racial skill. This is an auto-learn skill, does not have any children, and the first time we receive one will be at level 3, as we'll see soon. The second is a utility skill, which also does not have any child skills, however is trainable. The third is unarmed, again no child skills or abilities. This one is purely a skill related to auto attack at this stage. Now depending on your choice in the bottom section, it will show your related proficiency in the top section. So with one-handed weapons, which is the top skill, we have trained in one-handed swords only, so it'll show in the top section. As mentioned, the other skills we have so far don't have child skills, so nothing will be shown in the expanded parent. Now I'll go in and train in one-handed axes, and then open the player skills window to show they've been added as skills. Before I learn abilities, I want to show some important restrictions to the player abilities. I'll go in and purchase a sword from a vendor and equip it. You'll notice now that I've equipped the sword, the auto attack has changed. Each different parent skill in the game will have its own auto attack. This will default in depending on the weapon you have equipped. Now let's open the ability training window. This shows all of the abilities a class can learn at each level. So the Barbarian has the opportunity to learn Hack and Slash, Bone Crusher or Provoke at level 2. However, each time you reach a level where you're able to learn new abilities, you get allocated points. And you can only spend that many points within the ability tree. Additionally, the tree is broken down into combat proficiencies. The left column refers to one-handed abilities, the middle column to two-handed abilities, and the right column to utilities. The level 3 row with an ability to the far right indicates a racial ability. As you can see, I have 2 points to spend on my available abilities at level 2. However, only 2 out of the 3 are actually available. That's because I've not trained in the two-handed skill, so Bone Crusher is not available to train in. I would need to go back to the trainer and train in two-handed weapons in order for me to be able to select anything in that column. So I'll go and do that now. After doing that, you can now see that training in two-handed weapons has opened up the two-handed ability in the ability tree. That will now persist for all ability training levels. Given I want my Barbarian to be a tank, I'll train in Hack and Slash, the one-handed ability, and Provoke, which is a utility. You'll notice the cost is 2 points. I'll learn those, and the window is updated with my learnt abilities. These are highlighted in the tree and displayed in my action bar down below. They're also allocated to the relevant skills in the player skills window. So that's pretty much it for the skills and abilities at this stage. We've still got a lot of work to go through on combat, stats, and the impact of levelling skills, and updating and improving animations, which will be the focus of future work, along with continued world building and incorporating storylines, more points of interest and quests. There's still a lot to do, but we thank you very much for watching this video.